I'm Mint Salad, and I saw Iron Man 3. It's directed by Shane Black and starring Robert Downey Jr. This movie is a very trauma movie. It's very centered around Robert Downey Jr., aka Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, dealing with his PTSD from New York. Man, I love this angle. I love exploring Tony's just adventure with dealing with everything after the New York attack, because he faced the full brunt of everything. He was in the wormhole. He saw the nukes going off. Like, that is definitely going to traumatize you. And so we meet a Tony, and he's building a lot of suits. He's definitely coping for this insomnia that he has because he can't sleep. And so Pepper doesn't really like it that much. Oh yeah, by the way, Pepper and Tony are dating. They're very cute. They're super cute. I like that they're now near each other and there's so many sounds going on, but that doesn't matter. Tony and Pepper are kind of in tension because Tony won't stop building suits. He has 42 suits to be exact. That's a whole lot of suit. Now let's establish the villain. You got this guy, right? Stuff's exploding and things. More specifically, there's this solution called extremis where if you are modified to have it or given it, sometimes your body will just reject it explosively. And that's what happened to Happy in this movie. Happy is now in a coma. So very sad. But you know what happens? Tony's like, alright Mandarin, because that's the bad guy's name. Alright Mandarin, here's my home address. Do I look scared to you? That's what Tony Stark said. And then Tony Stark doesn't leave his house after threatening terrorists. He's a terrorist threatener, and he's threatening them all. And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in my house and get Happy to, Happy's in a coma. I'm gonna get Pepper safe. I need her to get out of here. Trying to tell her what's going on, and then there's like a whole ass missile headed to his home, hits the home, then the home follows, collapses on him. Luckily, Tony was able to save Pepper, but he was at a disadvantage because in order to save Pepper, he had to put the suit on her. And it's a prototype where once Tony eventually wears the suit, he falls. And I'm like, wow, this is very scary. This is holy shit. Wow. I would not want to be Tony in this situation. Tony's just going through so many traumatic things all at once. It is quite frightening, and I liked seeing the experience. Anyway, in response to this, Tony had picked this flight plan, or was talking about Tennessee, and asked Jarvis to set a flight plan to Tennessee. Then, Tony forgets that he asked Jarvis to set him to Tennessee. And so, when he wakes up, and he's like mid-flight, he wakes up, and the suit crashes because the suit is already died, is dying, at the point where Tony now has to drag the suit, the Iron Man suit, in the snow, and he has no warming stuff, and it's quite sad, and I just like seeing Tony struggle. But Tony figured out a little bit more about this exploding genetic modification stuff, extremists. When he gets attacked, he gets attacketed. And that attacketed is no good because Tony's like, all right, you're gonna attacketed me? No way, I'm not gonna let that happen, all right? Here at this point in the movie, it gets a little bit blurry for me. I do remember that Pepper gets kidnapped. Pepper gets kidnapped in order to try to have Tony help with extremists, because the Mandarin guy, he wants to use extremists. And extremists is like a genetic modification to make you a super soldier, but there's a lot of flaws with it. And he's using the terrorist attacks as cover for these flies. And so if he thinks he could put some extremists in Pepper, which he does, he can have Tony help her. And of course, Tony's here to save the day, saves Pepper. Pepper is like, hey, thank you. Also, please don't be Iron Man as much. And he's like, okay. But you know who else is Iron Man? That was attempted to be stolen? Okay, here's who Iron Man is. Bro is also Iron Man. He has the Patriot suit. I like the paint job of the suit. The suit's pretty cool. But, unfortunately, he gets trapped. And the suit's been taken from him. And now it's going to be used against a weapon, against Tony or whoever. But luckily, Tony stops all of this. He finds a cure. And I definitely enjoyed the journey of seeing Tony deal with everything from his PTSD to even more trauma-inducing events as a result of his actions, as a result of trying to become and stay Iron Man 5 ever. You got, even Jarvis is a little bit tired. And Jarvis is an AI. Tony, you need to chill the fuck out. All right? One really impactful scene though. You got Pepper's on top of this tower and she falls. She's fallen, right? And in the same scene, you got all these different suits and just seeing all these suits battle. And I'm like, whoa, this is super cool. I love it. Yummy. So much suit destruction and so much just everything going on. Explosions, bomb, boom, boom. So much going on. But in the end, it doesn't even matter because Tony is able to cure his shrapnel in his heart. And also, I should probably preface that the Pepper's alive. Because she was given extremists, she was able to survive the fall. And Tony's able to get rid of the shrapnel in his heart and then chucks it in the ocean. And that was beautiful. I love seeing that scene. He just throws it in the ocean. I'm like, ah, yes. This part of Tony, no mas. No way, Jose. You're not gonna stay in my heart, but I'm still Iron Man. And that's the end of the movie. I liked this movie. It's a very emotional movie. You just experience it. There's a lot to experience. I really liked the editing. Like, especially the beginning sequence, you got the music and you got all the actions lining up to the music, including the cuts. And I'm like, love it. So great. Very excellent. I can really appreciate just everything in this movie. The cinematography, the suit designs. Oh man, there's so many suit designs. Wow, it's pretty great. Anyway, I like this movie a lot. I gotta give this movie an 8 out of 10. It is by far my favorite Iron Man movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Speaking of things you should go check out, I have a Patreon. You should check out my vlogs. They're $3 a month on Patreon. They're daily and they're cool. And there's some outtakes from the other Mint Salad Saw. Another is one for the Batman and Robin review. Those outtakes are up on Patreon. Go check it out. Until next time, I'm Mint Salad Saw.